Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit that like and subscribe button. We have a ton of content coming out for you guys every single day. Certainly don't want to miss a thing. Don't forget to tune in on Thursdays and Tuesdays for our premiere videos with the live chat. Chance to come on in, give us suggestions for videos, any questions you may have, ideas you may have, or just in general BS with us. We always enjoy just sitting there shooting the crap with our fans. So please join us on Thursdays at 6 o'clock. I'm there every single Thursday. Amy is in on most of those as well. And the Tuesdays at 4:30. So far, I have not missed a single one. Work may interfere with that, but I'll always go back and check the logs. All of this is just leading up to our chance to start live streaming, where we'll do our craps tournament with our fans participating, probably do a patron-only live stream craps tournament as well, then add in some blackjack, pai gow, baccarat, whatever we can think of, and probably have a continuous craps tournament going at all times. Live stream is going to give us so many options we can do. Shout out to Wes and everybody else that's given us a super chat, super sticker tip on these live chats. It's always appreciated. Just like all of our patrons, we appreciate all those tips and support, and we hope you guys are enjoying those exclusive videos that we're putting out for you guys. Now that we're starting to put out the entire dice class, 2 videos a week, we hope you guys are enjoying it. And otherwise, we're going to go straight into today's video. So for today's video, I want to go over one of our more interesting players that I see from time to time. And this is definitely one of, hands down, the worst strategies that I've ever seen in my life. And it really comes down to the fact that, honestly, this player has absolutely no idea what it is they're betting. So, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. First, I just want to show you their bets. And I'm going to start off with their most common bet. And this bet, when they first started playing, this bets are, this particular bet was something they just did come out rolls. And then it slowly turned into something they would do on every roll. And then they started doing some of this other craziness that I'm going to show you in a little bit. So first off, the way it very first started off was he would say, let me get a high-low. Okay, cool. You got a high-low. You got a $5 high-low. No problem. Then instead of on come-out rolls, it was every roll. Let me get a high-low. Then he discovered the 12. So he started throwing this in. Let me get a high-low 12. And that sounds to a dealer like they want a high-low. To a newer dealer, to a good dealer, they will hear high-low 12 and go, okay, you have a high-low and a 12. Which is what we generally would set up for him, is because that's what he's saying. Let me get a high-low 12. And this is right here where you first start to understand that this player does not have any clue what it is they're betting. Some people will make a bet and want to be high on something. So there are some people that will say, let me get a high-low and let me get 5 more on the 12. When they put it that way, let me get 5 more on the 12. They understand that the high-low is already betting on the 12 and is betting the exact same odds as just betting a 12. They're betting $2.50 on the 12, $2.50 on the aces. But when you say, let me get a high-low 12, and after dealing to him for a length of time, we realized that he really did have no clue. So high-low 12. Okay, he wanted a high-low and a 12. Then it started to morph into this. Let me get a high-low. Okay, get a high-low. Make it a high-low 12. Okay, you got a high-low and a 12. And then let me get 2. And we would go, so you want a $15 high-low. Now, 8 hours into the second 8-hour day, he still had not grasped the fact that this right here was a $10 high-low. It still just did not understand. So we would set up the $15 high-low for him. Then it started to morph even more. On his come-out rolls, he would start doing this. $10 high-low. $10 12. Trying to remember exactly how this went. $10 11. $15 any 7. Now here's the thing. This should be a $15 three-way 7, right? To an intelligent player, one who actually understands the game. Because of how he bet, it didn't take long before no dealer was setting up a three-way red. They were setting up an any 7 because he was constantly adding to it. Now, initially, this is how he would bet. Let me get a high-low 12. Okay, you got a high-low 12. Let me get a $10 11. Okay, now keep in mind, this is while the dice are in the middle. This is the same roll. He just string betted two bets. Right? So we get this set up. When we're trying to ask other players, hey, what do you guys want to bet? And he's still, press my high-low 12. Okay, pressing your high-low 12. And let me get a $15 7. And he added the 7 in after he was losing this stuff on the 7 a few times. So we're like, okay, fine. So this was great for a few minutes. This was great for maybe 30 minutes. Then after, because what we would do is he was doing this on come-out rolls, and he would do this particular setup on come-out rolls only. He was doing this high-low 12, other junk, idiocy, adding aces, whatever, throughout all the rest of the rolls. But this particular one he was doing every time. So we'd say, hey, do you want your 50 action? It's a lot easier for us to say, well, do you want your 50 action? So, or was it 45 action? Yeah, do you want your 40? No, so I know I'm missing something. What was it? Because he had 50 action. I'm trying to remember what it was that he added to it. I think maybe it was what was it that he added to it? Oh, it's a $15 11. I'm sorry, it's $15 11. So, in reality, it was a $30 7-11, but trying to explain that to him it'd be easier for me to teach a fish how to ride a bicycle. So he had his 50 action right here. So we'd say, hey, do you want your 50 action? He would set it up, and we would set it up, and then after we set this up, so after he strung this in, it would take him 5 bets just to get this in. We would say, hey, do you want your 50 action? Yes, we'd set this up, and then he'd go, press the any 7. Okay, now you got a $40 any 7. So we set that up, and then press the 11. So you want 85 in action now. And we would swap that out and say, so now you want 85 action, not your 50 action. So after he would do this for a couple of hours, and same thing, string these bets in every single time, it got to where he would do this. He would say, let me get my 50 action. And the dealer would look at him and go, you mean the 85 action? Throw in the other $35 so we can just get the whole thing set up right the first time. Okay, and he'd throw in his $85. And we would set up his bet. Make sure I've got it right. Yep. We would set up his bet, and then, and I'm not kidding, as soon as we finished setting that up, he went, press the 11. Okay. And then he went, press the high-low 12. So we're like, so now it's 105 action. Okay. And then during the rolls, this was his come-out roll. So then during the rolls, high-low 12. Okay, you got your high-low 12, and we're just waiting. We stopped trying to move the dice fast. We had other players that would just leave the table because they got so sick and tired of this super slow string all your bets in thing. So he would throw that. He would say, let me get my high-low 12, and we would just stand there and wait. Maybe even we would pretend to start to move the dice. And then, let me get the aces. Okay, so you have a $15 high-low. And if he got sick and tired of ace-deuce coming, he would say, let me get an ace-deuce. Okay, you've got an ace-deuce. Or you've got a $15 three-way crap with a high-low. I mean, there's so many different ways you've got this, but okay, you've got that. And then, let me get an 11. Okay, you have a $20 horn and a $5 high-low. And he truly was not understanding what his bets were, and it really started to show up when things like this would happen. He would have, sometimes he'd get really bold and have something like, actually even that's not going to be enough. Let's see here. Oh, here's a great one, because sometimes he would do this he would do some of this stuff on the come-out roll as well. So, something like like this. Ace deuce would roll, and he starts cheering. Yeah, all right, ace deuce. Yeah, I bet that, right? And we would go, okay, well, 40, 50, 110. And okay, all right, go ahead and throw me in $30. And he's sitting there cheering. Yeah, all right, you got to throw me $30. I do? Yeah, you do. This wins $75. You've got all this other action. Okay, and he never argued with us. He'd throw in the money, and that's something that we realized that we noticed as we were watching this. He had absolutely no idea. He started cheering when the ace deuce would roll because he would bet it, but a lot of times something would roll and he was dead silent because he did not realize that what had just rolled, even though the dice landed in front of him, he did not realize that what had just rolled paid him. He also had absolutely no clue what his bets paid, if they paid at all. So he had all these bets up that no matter what hit, he owed us money. There was no way he was going to win money. He would have just all these random bets out that all competed with each other, that if nothing hit, he'd lose all his money. If something hit, he would have to throw us in money. He did not have a win condition because he had no clue what he was betting. This was one of my favorites. This might take me a second to reconstruct, but I didn't figure this one out in my head. I remember how it ended. Oh, actually, before I get into this is one of the more amusing ones as well. He would actually do this sometimes. Let me get a, high-low 12. Yeah, we know the high-low 12. What do you want to press? Press the high-low. Okay, press the high-low. Give me an aces. Okay, so now you got a $40 high-low. 87. Okay, you got an 87. Let me get a $10 yo. Okay, you got a $10 yo. $20 on the ace deuce. Okay, 20 on the ace deuce. At this point, we've given up even trying to break this down into bets that make sense and are smart. And then to top it off, and this didn't happen very often, but this would have every dealer and any floors that happen to be in the area all look at each other and muffle laughter. Let me get a $5 world. So you're betting this $20 to $30, $40 on every number, and now you want to do not $5 world, $5 horn. Now you want to do a $5 horn. And every so often, he would say, let me get a $5 horn, and I would look at him and go, so you want to press all your bets $1.25, okay. Because again, he did not actually understand what his bets were. He had no clue what his bets were, what he was betting. At this point is when I realized that he was just betting word vomit. He was just vomiting out words of bets that sounded cool that he must have heard from somebody else and then started betting it, and every so often it would hit and it'd win and he'd be all excited. So he started betting it every time and started adding more and more until he was betting everything he'd ever seen that sounded cool to him and made it sound like he knew what he was doing, to where he could not win money because he had more in action than anything paid. And then he just would randomly add in a bet that he thought sounded cool, that made it sound like he knew what he was doing, that was what he was already betting, only fractional amounts of the risk. Now my favorite one, and again, this might take me a second to reconstruct, but it started out with his high-low 12. All right, your high-low 12. Yeah, we've heard this before. Let me get a $10 yo. Okay, you've got your $10 11. Aces. Okay, now you got your aces. Press my high-low. Okay, well, press your high-low. And I'm trying to remember what this was. Oh yeah, press the 11. Okay, press your 11. And what you'll notice is when it wasn't a split, but when it was something that was even dollar amount, we started separating it out into the numbers. He might say, let me get a $10 high-low. We'd be like, okay, you got a $5 aces, $5 12. Partially to make it easy, partially to say, look, dude, this is what your bet is, but mostly because it made it a lot easier for us to pay him. Then, let me get an ace deuce. All right, and a $10 high-low. Press my high-low. Okay, press your ace deuce. Then he finished it up with any 7, and I went, okay. And now the dealer pauses for a second. Just waiting for the next thing he's going to stroke his way into or string his bet into. We're just waiting for the next word vomit to come out of his mouth to see what else he wanted to bet that sounded cool. So I'm looking at it and I went, okay, so you have a $50 world bet, $10 high-low, $5 11. And he went, that's what I have? Yes, that's what you have. And that was all I could say. So I hope you guys find this interesting. I'm sorry if this is a little bit of a rant, but this is the exact kind of player that makes other players want to go outside and kick themselves in the balls, and it makes the dealers want to go on their next break and hang themselves by their belt in the bathroom. So I hope you guys find this interesting, amusing, enlightening, and just plain odd. And thank you guys very, very, very much for watching. We definitely appreciate it, and we will catch you guys next time. Bye now.